ladies and gentlemen, fiends, crazy people, blessed people, everything. We got us. This part two. This part two is for to feed you, and I want you to know the things that have been said on 341 and this next one is the opinions of our guests. Mad love, DJ Rubber Band, Caddy B is in the house. We doing it, y'all. We doing it. We want you to like, subscribe, likes. You know what I really want? You know what I really want? I want some people to start leaving us some messages. We getting a lot of messages, but I need some messages from some sexy people. You know, just when I say sexy, I ain't being discriminatory towards nobody, but just, you know, leave some creative. Like, I'm getting a lot of stuff that just give me more love, y'all. Just give me love. We're getting love, but just, you know, shout out Building 341, man. We got a whole series of just why we building 341. We saving all of that. And you know what? Bricks. Actually, one of these days, we gonna put something down at the bottom because you gotta have our man. It's so much more stuff we gotta put on there because this is my daddy jersey. This is my daddy jersey right here. You know, we might have to have something in there so y'all can send me some more jerseys. And I ain't even a Cowboys fan, but my daddy was a Cowboys fan. Shout out my daddy, R.I.P. But anyway, I'm gonna shut up. I'm DJ Rubber Band. This is Caddy B. We got my boy V Love part 2, and we got a part 3 too. I need comments. I need y'all to tell me what y'all think. I mean, y'all didn't know Northern California had it going on like that. What you got to say, Caddy? I'm going to shut up, Caddy.
What's up, bricklayers, people? Man, I didn't know we was going to be going through this much editing on that one episode. I mean, 2-3 part? Come on now. Like, we losing it.
We couldn't even talk about the people sitting next to the people that was sitting next to the people. We had to bleep them out. Okay.
You can't give up them gems. Like, subscribe, comment. Start commenting. Don't just text me. Comment.
Text. Don't just text, but I mean, comment. And then they calling me. They calling me, asking me questions, or just random people was like, he a pastor? Okay, well, da-da-da-da. And this is what Building 341. It's about music, it's about culture, and everything is intertwined and how it means. And he really showed that in what he did. He intertwined music into it.
Yeah, definitely. And remember, we're a community, so it's like we're trying to promote that. Like, we're all a community, like, together. Like, make sure that y'all, like, join in.
Hit us up. And then, you know what? Like I said, we got some crazy stuff. And then I'm more of a perfectionist than Caddy. Caddy is just, you know, put her out, you know, is hanging off, just do it. I'm like, no. And then we meet somewhere in the middle. That's Builder 341.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth. But we doing it. Like, we staying consistent. Like, you can look at our numbers, like, we consistently there.
We there, y'all. Caddy, what you think about this part 2? Tell me. I want you to just shoot from the hip. You light-skinned it. You get a pass. What you feel, Caddy?
There you go. Man, I was just going through edits just now, and I was just like, I didn't catch that the first time.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that the first time even the second time when I was editing it, I didn't catch that. There's some gems. Keep looking out. Yeah. There's a lot of stones in that pocket full of stones.
Man. And you know what? Somebody called me and was like, oh man, wow, man, why y'all putting him on there, man? He's just gonna brag about his cars. But this is what Building 341 is about. It's about
he was just talking about rolling a Benz 190, just like Cube.
Exactly. A raggedy bit. It wasn't raggedy, but it wasn't no, you know.
Had some gold on it.
You know, if Kumo D rapped about being in the Benz 190, you know how long ago that was.
Okay.
So if you know the song that Kumo D rapped about Benz 190, Oof. 2 point such and you can't find me, hit me in the comments and tell me what was the name of that song. Let me know you old school. Let me know.
Yeah. Start pressing Rubber Band on some of this hip hop knowledge because he is a historian.
Oh, for sure. With my daddy's jersey on, you know, R.I.P. You know, 2 red socks. on the right side. But
I'm gonna throw it up for the West
I already seen
and
that.
the
I see you
East.
slowly. I see you slowly threw that up. You know. So, Caddy, what you
That's
feel
that's how
about
that's how we do it.
what you want from this second part? This second interview with V Love. Do you want people to see the wildness? Do you want them to see what? What do you want, Caddy?
From this second interview, it's just a start to the beginning of understanding some of the wildness. The third part is where it's going to get wild. We might have to keep that one only on Patreon. You might have to pay for that one.
Oh. And you
We'll
know what,
see.
too? This is what we want too. After we release these and move on, we got a lot more stuff. We want you to send comments. We want you to hit us on Messenger, because then we can go back and have him on here and say, this is what they said, blah, 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 blah. Because we really just want to know, people are people, and their experience is their experience.
Oh yeah, facts. Yeah,
You know.
and it kind of seems like every time we have somebody on, it's going to turn into a revisit of an episode, because we got to get Pops back on here. People
People love Pops. They love Pops, and Pops want to come back on too. It's just a matter of when we can get time to get Pops on. You know, we might have to go to Pop's studio. Pops got a studio in West Oakland. You know, we might have to get in there. You know, Pop's kind of crazy too. You know, Pop grew up in the pimp era, so he still got a pimp hand too. But we ain't gonna talk about that, Pops. I ain't gonna put all your business out, Pops.
it seems like we keep bringing back these old pimps.
Hey. I just said a pimp hand. I didn't say he was a pimp, you know. I said a pimp hand, you know.
They all got pimp stories.
Yeah. So, Mad Love, I want y'all to subscribe, holler at us, send us messages. Don't just text me. Don't just text Caddy. Don't talk to somebody and leave an anonymous, you know. Just hit your folks. Who you want to see on Building 341? You know, who do you want to see on Building 341? I just talked to somebody today, and I don't know if they worthy, but I feel like, I don't know. Because one of the things I like about V Love's interview is that he incorporated hip hop in the songs of his life. Like what Stevie Wonder say, songs in the key of life. He talked about the key of life and what he did in that whole experience. You know, that whole experience.
Definitely. It doesn't have to just be hip hop either. It can be all music in the culture. Like, we listen to everything, but make sure that you can have some music in it. Don't tell me that you didn't listen to anything. Like, I'm gonna call bullshit.
Me and Caddy had a guest that we interviewed a couple days ago, and one of the guests said, "Well, I only like this kind of music." I was like, "But you still could talk about that kind of music." And then they talked about, they like, was it country or it was some different kind of music, but it was still good music.
Yeah. I mean, not all music is good music, but I mean, it's music, so you got to respect it in some aspects, right?
You know who I want? I'm putting this out there. He already said he would do it, but I'm putting this out there to the world. When we get DJ Ted Shred on there, when we get DJ Ted Shred on there,
I might just surprise you. I might just surprise you and just pull up with him one day.
When you get me and Ted on there,
we're gonna have somebody gonna have to bring us lunch.
Oh yeah. Love. And there's so many more people, but Ted is directly a part of the correlation of our history, and as we go off the tree. And that's one of the things we want to talk about in music, the DJ and this place and this music thing and how it goes off and does it. And we all went off and did different things in music and hip hop, and Ted is a beast with it too. Like, you know what I meing? So shout out Ted Shred, DJ Ted Shred, you know.
He's still doing it too.
He still will battle you. You could tell he still would want to battle. I mean, I'm the same way too, though. I'm the same. And then I remember doing a party in the Bay, and they was like, "Oh, rubber, no, man, you doing too much." I was like, "All right, hey."
Let us know in the comments if you want us to get a Rubber Band and Shred to have a battle for a half an hour.
There you go. That's my people right there.
Just we call it a versus. We'll just let them play.
Look, I ain't doing none of it. Look, it's got to be some money involved. Like, it's got to be like, look, my more than likes got to go up. You know.
This is for the culture.
There you go. You see what light skin say? You see what light skin do? You see? Even communicating back to V Love, because we might need to just hit him up just so we can see him live and say, what you been getting, V Love? What kind of love you been getting? People been listening to your story?
Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah,
before we drop 3, we'll set up to just
we gonna tell him we gonna call him on his phone and have us all 3 on there. V Love, talk to us, baby. V Love, talk to us, baby. Tell us about that Yugo. Where it's at. Yeah. Yeah.
See if his flock has grown.
Say I'm gonna have to bust an Ice Cube on you because this is about music too. You know what Ice Cube? And I gave y'all some of my history. Here's a verse Ice Cube said: "Coming up, just envy, but the black community is full of envy. Too much backstabbing. As I look out the window, I see all the grabbing, all the stuff in my neighborhood. Build a store and sell their goods to the county get sip. You know, us po niggas,
right?
Big lips." So again, I was influenced by hip hop. Well, R&B too, but hip hop just took right home.
Yeah, it raised you.
I was really influenced by that because I know they were speaking facts. They were speaking facts, and it was facts that I lived and understood. So now the same cats rolling down the street in my 6'4". So again, them my idols. I remember somebody said that, Kanye said that about Jay-Z. I'm listening to you guys. These guys are my idols. They still my homies. And I'm a pastor now. When they come to town for a concert, I'm there. I grew up with them cats.
Right now you at your height. You at your height, V Love. Right now you at your height, and you at the pinnacle of that big house off that road. You giving parties. We all going to the parties.
Now I gotta say that wasn't all. A lot of people got a misconception. That wasn't off drug money. It was off real estate investments. Remember, I told you I'm turning off my pager. I'm finna learn this game.
Yeah,
it's legal. And I didn't know prices was going to double in the next year. Buy a property for $60,000 with no money down. That was the program. That's what the guy was. He was lacing me up with game. I just took the time and spent the money because I turned my pager off to invest in letting him lace me up. And we paid for his product. That cost about $200 or $300. Keisha paid for. I figured we paid for it. I'm gonna let him lace me up with what he know. I teach the game, but he's teaching me the real estate game. And I invited my homeboy who put me in the game. I invited him to it. He told me it wasn't gonna work. Remember?
Yeah.
Hold on. He told me it wasn't gonna work. So I said, I'm turning my page, and I still did what I said I'm gonna do. I ain't turning my page on at 8. I'm turning on at noon because this is what I'm studying from 8 to noon. You're more than welcome to come over with me and get laced up too by this cat, Carlton Sheets. Oh man, that ain't gonna work.
I remember that white case with the tapes in it.
Right.
So right now, you're at the height of
but I'm still in the game, though. I'm still in the game, though.
No, I ain't taking away from that. You still in the game, but you making it off real estate. But you making it off real estate, and to your people that know you, you still the same. But how are other people affected by Vince? Because your personality can be infectious, but at the same time, somebody can say, "F that nigga."
What they gonna do? You always have haters, and at some point, all of our lives we have to.
Did you feel guilty? Did you feel guilty at any point?
I remember. I listened. I got it from the Reverend Ice Cube. Coming up, just in me, but the black community is full of envy. Too much backstabbing. So remember, I'm still heavily influenced by those lyrics, speaking truth, and I understood that, and I've seen that in my own life. But I can't let what you believe stop me from the vision I have and what I want. I remember even my boy we talking about. He would tell me, and this was before the big house. Man, you're doing too much. Yeah, your own peers will tell you that. Your own peers, I don't care if they black, white, purple, whatever. When they see you achieving, you may not even be overachieving.
What you think about that, Caddy? Is that true?
Yeah.
It is true. The problem is that the people who question what you're doing don't understand for a reason. They never will.
Right. Because you know what? You can get stuck in mediocrity,
Right.
familiar. Being
You hang
straight,
around 9 broke motherfuckers, you the 10th.
right, you're the 10. So unless you come out of that mediocrity and don't look back at them cats, you just keep going, you're gonna be okay. But your will and desires are still to bring them up with you. Not to say y'all just stay back here to bring you up. And they might say some stuff. Even my parents and sisters were saying the same thing. But I'm saying, especially on this real estate, I can't just give you this house because I'm still making payments on it. I can teach you how to do it the way I did it, but most people just want you to just give me.
Because at
You
this
put all
point,
the work
right,
in.
because at this point, Vince, a lot of your family has come to Chico at this point now. So
Right.
your sisters are there, they kids is
Mama
there,
there, my uncle, my auntie,
your
my
uncle's there.
and on my wife's side, same thing.
They all
mom,
came.
grandfather,
Yeah,
aunt,
all of them came.
her brother. So
And
again, we was talking about that this morning, me and Keisha. I think that was prophetic because we didn't invite them; they just came. We
yeah, they
didn't
just
call out one of them and say, "Man, y'all need to come on here, is on and crack it." They just saw something happening in us and figured, "Hey, we're gonna come here. It's gonna happen to us."
the
So it
same way.
will, it would for anybody, big man, anybody else. I always say this: people want what you have, but they don't want to do what you do to get it. They don't want to do that. They don't even want to. And when I'm saying do
Yeah.
that, they don't even want to think like that. They don't even want to
Right.
imagine like that. I got on my wall right here, imagine, and how you got to use your imagination for vision for where you want to go. I'm imagining right now, 2 years from now, where I want to be, and the state I want to be in. I'm always imagining, and I'm talking about it too. I ain't ashamed to vocalize it.
There you
I'm
go.
visualizing it. So you got to do that. Those are things. A lot of people want to just stay mediocre, familiar, but they won't.
But they won't. Now
They
right
won't.
now, so look, so right now we finna set up this transition. So right now, what happens to where God takes you in the middle of the night or during the day when your page is off and say, nigga, you been playing, you coming with me. All this gonna
Well,
stop, nigga.
it wasn't even about that. It was, you know what, and this is what I believe. I know me and you had this conversation umpteen times. There's a scripture in the Bible. It says, "I know the plans I have for you, plans to give you a future and a hope." That's for anybody that will receive that word. Biblical word is like seed. You put seed in the ground, and it's supposed to have a harvest. For us, spiritually, our harvest is our belief system, our heart, not our blood pump, your spirit, the real you. You got to put. That's how faith comes, by hearing. That's how, like I say, I believe what Ice Cube said coming up is in me. I heard it 100 times from the song. Start believing it. God has some word he wants to believe. So he said, "I know the plan I have for you." Now, the plan I have for you, he says, is good and evil, not to give you a hope. Now, because he said that, don't mean you ain't gonna get off course.
Right.
Again, back with me, he said this other part. "I knew you before you was formed in your mother's womb." Before? When was that? Before I was formed in my mother's womb? You saying the creator of the universe, you knew me. And then not only that, you say, you know, the plans that you have for me, they were good. So because you said that, he's going to make sure you get to your destiny and your purpose. He's going to get your attention.
Now, for the podcast, tell us when Jesus grabbed you and said,
I'm gonna get there. So he's going to get your attention. Now,
okay.
if he's,
Cause you made some change. The hood rattled when you made the transition.
As the creator is desiring to get your attention, it's up to you to understand that he's tapping you. Yo. Remember those cartoons? You got an angel of the Lord. They both are your ear.
Dad's made an album about that. Yeah.
So he's gonna get your attention. Now, God, what he did with me, he got my attention through life situations and circumstances. I'm deep in the game. I'm deep in the game, brother. Like you said, I'm at my pinnacle.
You was at your pinnacle. I can't look.
I'm at the point now.
Look, I don't want to blow your head up too much, but you was doing it.
But here's the deal. In my mind, the world is mine. I can't. Everything I touch turn to gold. If we still lived on Elm Street, We still lived on Elm Street, but hey, that's my world.
Yeah.
That's when the boys came at me. Well, we wasn't in the big house. We wasn't even in the medium-sized house on Large by Bidwell Park. We were still in the hood on Elm. A lot of people don't realize, but I was at my pinnacle in the game. I'm deep in the game. I got a major connect. Big man, I don't need you no more. The Impalas on deck. Hey, Leon, the Impalas, I can't do no more work to it. It's on deck. It's blown out. The Surpass Craig on the sounds. Everything, the paint. Not only that.
I'm gonna have to have my boy on the show because you just throw shots.
Have him on the show.
Because look, his 6'2" was clean. Don't take nothing from that 6'2".
I'm gonna give him that. His 6'2" was clean, but I'm finna mess your head up with this one. My 6 tray was clean, but I hit him with that second album. The Drop Top Beamer, baby. The Drop Top. I hit him with that second album. I went platinum. I went platinum again. On the second album. It was a hit. He didn't come with the second album.
Look, how are we talking about that if we're supposed to get spiritual? Right now, we're supposed to be spiritual.
Hey, he didn't have no second album. He did.
Leave Big Man alone.
Leave Big Man alone. Shout out, Big Man. We're going to get you on the show.
Remember, he had a drop Beamer. It didn't even chart, though. Because he didn't do that.
No, that blue one? That blue one was clean.
No. He had
was it blue?
He had a blue top.
Yeah.
Remember, it didn't even chart.
And yours was burgundy. Yeah, yours was burgundy.
Mine was burgundy with all the.
And then I had a white one.
Right.
It was a hard top.
Y'all didn't
still
chart,
count though.
Y'all didn't hit the charts.
Look, mine still count though. I wasn't in the game.
I know, but I was deep in the game. Back then,
you was deep in the game.
Street, I was in my pinnacle. I had two platinum albums. I had the 6 tray. I followed it up with the Candy Beamer.
Right.
I remember that time pulling in front of Craig's house, and I told both of y'all, this is what a real Beamer looks like. Remember that?
Yep. Now when you go give us.
I was on Elm Street, so I'm at my pinnacle, and I'm big headed too. Remember, I ain't gonna lie, I got big headed. I'm gonna stop. I'm rolling this. I got a major connect. I got my cars hooked up. Even my other little cars. I have some other little cars. They were fully equipped with sound. I got plenty of money. I'm draped up and dripped out. The world is mine. And that's when God say, I'm going to let you know who the world really is. That's when he had your boys to holler at me. First, he had me do a control buy. And then after that, I thought, because somebody tipped me off that afterward, it was a control buy. I don't answer this cat no more through pager. I'm figuring they're going to forget about it. A month later, 6 in the morning, Ice-T said it better. 6 in the morning, this is a music show, right? 6 in the morning, what?
Yeah.
6 in the morning,
what? At my door.
That's what happened. They stuck to the script. They kicked down my door, 4 white dudes, 10 white dudes with guns. I got powder and crack all up in my house. Because I used to take it out.
Did you know any of them? Did you know any of the cops that came to your house?
Not one of them. I seen that one, the month previous when I was selling to the dude, and I told him to go inside a Ross, dress for less, act like he's shopping, because he told me he had a friend with him because he was too drunk to drive. He was from Magalia, and we used to meet by Ross. And I told him, nah, man, we don't roll like that. Have your friend go in the store. I remember this white cat looking out the window. A month later, I seen that same white cat at my house.
Damn.
But that's what I'm saying. Now, every night before I went home, right across the street from my house on Elm Street was an abandoned stucco company. Remember that abandoned stucco?
Yep.
Well, it was abandoned. They had left the cars over there, the truck with the key in it. I used to use the truck to go to the dump.
I remember.
He had the key in it. I remember I got Pastor Kobe in trouble one time with that. Highway patrol. Pastor Kobe, I got the pastor in trouble. Hey, I almost caught the pastor.
I remember that.
Right. So every night, I used to go hide all my product over there. I figured they come to my house in the morning, because I know.
Right.
I know from my scholars, Professor Ice-T, 6 in the morning. Police, yeah. So I knew that.
So we could have got all the work over there. We could have just, me and Caddy could have went robbed it and got all the work.
I know where to look, because there was a nice chunk of land. There was a lot of spots.
Yeah, it was a lot of.
I didn't get at the same spot every time. I had like 5 different spots, because it was abandoned, and it was
Yeah.
like it was still operational. So it was a lot of hiding spots up in there. It could have been in a stucco bag. Oh, they had the powder to mix it. All that was still there. So
Right.
every night, and this Elm Street was dark at night. Every night I creep from my house. It was directly across the street. I'll just walk out, go in the back, put my stuff in the stash. Every night, was nothing in my house. Nothing. I could sleep good, knowing nothing in my house. The jackers try to jag, you ain't gonna get nothing. You might get some cash and some jewelry, but you ain't gonna find no dope. I did that for years. This one night, that's why I know God was setting me up, was getting ready to get my attention. This one night, I'm at the Bear, I'm at the, what's that club on there? Brickworks. Oh, I'm at the Brickworks. I'm partying, I'm sniffing, I'm smoking Newports, I'm doing my thing. Probably had a Primo. I'm in the drop Beamer because that's the one I drive at night. I'm bouncing 6 tray in the morning. At night, I'm dropping the top because it's cool.
Talk that talk.
Hey,
Talk
hey,
that talk.
I'm curb, so I'm parking lot pimping too.
Caddy,
I'm not
listen
just
to
in
him
the
talk that
parking lot.
talk.
Hey, I'm not just in the parking lot at
Caddy,
the brick. Hey, I'm not just in the parking lot at the Brickworks. I come a little early so I can post up right by the door.
look at it.
You want to
I
be right by,
know,
all eyes on me. And I'm looking good. I'm dressed. I'm fresh.
and
Boom.
you know all your people from back in the day, everybody is coming to us saying, "Man, your boy V doing too much, man.
I
V
thought, man,
doing
what
too
else
much,
he doing
man.
too much?
V doing too much, man." And then
I'm
what would I would
popping
always
close.
say to you? What would I always say to you, man? When you gonna do that for my one boy, man? When you gonna? Don't say his
Well, all
name.
you had to do was
Don't
follow
say
the
his
leader.
name. But yeah,
Well, see, all you had to do was follow the leader during that time because I wasn't doing no real estate. It was just all I was doing my sales. I was up
right,
500 a day, and I had a work ethic. A lot of
right.
people forget that. I had to set time. This is what I'm doing.
Now get to the meat and potatoes, because I want we to stay right where across the street from the building. The work was in there, and then they come at 6 in the morning.
Came at 6 in the morning, kicked in the door. We had a 2-story house.
Yep.
I took downstairs. Only thing I could see after I see all these white cats with guns yelling, "Get out, get out, get out!" Only thing I can think of, I don't remember taking the stuff across the street.
Oh,
That's the only thought was on my mind. I don't remember. So they came at 6. I didn't come in till like 2:30 or 3 when the club was open.
right.
I'm woozy. I'm hungover. I ain't got no coffee. I'm still in my system.
Right, yeah.
I ain't had no Newport.
Yeah.
I ain't had nothing, man. These cats kicking on my door at 6:01. And all I could think of, I don't remember hiding this. So, and God knew that. And here's another thing about God. I believe God knew about me. And probably still is today. Probably not. My worst fear back then was going to prison. Because I knew what they did to pretty boys. I didn't know. I heard. I didn't know.
Look
That was
at you.
That was my worst fear.
Look, he on his stuff right now, Caddy, and he calling himself a pretty boy
That was my worst fear.
he got that homemade Jerry curl. Look.
Yeah, that homemade Jerry curl.
Talk that talk.
Leon, that was my worst fear. And I believe.
Talk that talk, Caddy.
I believe God,
talking that talk.
God in all his wisdom, he knows what our greatest fear is. And for me, he knew that was going to get my attention. And they got my attention. Because I'm like, if they find all of this in my house, because I don't remember hiding it. And if they find it, I can fight the case a month ago that I sold it to them. But if they find all this in my house, I had ounces, powder and hard. I said, if they find this, it's over. So rubber. As soon as I'm coming down the stairs, they hear me up. I'm in my drawers. That's all I got on, drawers, no shirt, nothing, just Fruit of the Looms. They immediately handcuffed me, sent me on the couch. Immediately. And started to search it. And the kids in the house, Keisha had just went to work because she worked at Life Touch. They waited till she left. So Tyree and Tiana, they even wake up because they don't go to school, get up to like 7 to get ready for school. They went to Chapman. So I'm sitting on the couch in my drawers, in my underwear, and I'm thinking, I don't remember hiding that drugs across the street. I just don't remember it. And as I'm thinking about that, I'm saying, if they find this, it's a wrap for me. My biggest fear is about to manifest. Me going to jail or a guy named Bruno running up in me. That's my biggest fear. So my wife was a churchgoer. I wasn't. She was there every Sunday. Praise the Lord. I was doing my thing.
She was a Pastor Coleman then,
Yeah, she was at the Colemans.
Yeah.
So as I'm sitting right there with my hand behind my back in my underwear, I hear a voice. Remember that voice I told you back in Chicago?
Yeah.
That voice came back to visit me. It said, "Why don't you pray?" That same voice that told me put the gun away, that same voice that been watching over me all these years,
Yeah.
and it was soft too. It says, why don't
Yeah.
you pray?" I said, "Why don't you pray?" And I'm like, "That's a great idea." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah." And I prayed. You know what I prayed? God, do not let them find this. Don't let them find this. I swear I'll be done. Don't let them find it. Long story short, they stayed in my house for 4 hours.
Whoa.
I saw them go to all the places where the drugs was. I looked at because I'm on the couch. It's right there in the kitchen. It's right there in the living room. I'm looking at them because the crack wasn't even hid. It was just right there because I had just cooked up a batch before I left to go to the club.
Right.
And I was planning on putting it in the thing and taking it across the street. It wasn't even hard to find. So for 4 hours, 3.5 hours, I'm watching them go to all the spots. At the third hour, they came to me. Now they was there 4 hours. The third hour, they came to me and said, "Man, you better tell us where it's at, because we're gonna find it." And I heard them say, "Call the drug sniffing dogs in." I didn't even know Butte County had no drug sniffing dogs. 20 minutes later, 2 dogs come in the house. I see the dogs go right to it, sniff and keep going. I'm like, did I hide it across the street? I see the dog go right to the cabinet. Not only that, before they go to right the cabinet, I saw the guy take everything out of the cabinet where it was. Nothing. They ain't never not once say, "There we go." But then, after the drug sniffing dogs went to the garage, that's where the 6 tray Impala was, in the garage, they came to me and said, "Hey, man, those dogs detected some drugs in that Impala in your garage. You better tell us where it's at in that car. We're going to rip that whole car apart finding it." I said, "Man, ain't no drugs. First of all, I don't sell no drugs, and ain't no drugs in that car. So please don't tear my car up. There's nothing in there." And that's when I knew they was off, because I never hid any drugs in that car.
They just smelled some residue of
No. That let me know they ain't smell the residue. They was way off course because the drugs was right here under your nose. So God was reassuring me. Now that I look back, I control everything. I control that nose of a drug sniffing dog. I can control the eyes of those police. They looking at it. It'd be like you see all this stuff in my background, but you don't see it. It's there, but you can't see it. That's what happened. And then that 4th hour, they got mad. They hot. They said, "Go ahead and book them in the Chico Police Department." They take me to the Chico, as they take me outside, they put some pants on me, a shirt, haul me outside. These cats outside having lunch. They got pizza on the top of my cars, pizza boxes.
What?
All my neighbors looking at me coming out like a criminal. You know I'm a decent, law-abiding citizen. Because they got undercover cars, they got police cars,
Yeah. Oh,
they
that was
got all
big,
kind of cars.
dude.
The
And it
whole block.
rang towards the whole hood. Man, you know
Right.
Vince, man, they raided Vince's house. They raided Vince's
Oh,
house.
yeah. And so this is 4 hours later. I go outside, they having lunch. They hungry now. They didn't work up, ain't found nothing, but they having lunch. So they take me down to the Chico PD. I get out to the Chico PD. They book me in, take my picture, blah, blah, blah. Put me in a little holding cell by myself. And as I'm sitting in a holding cell, I'm like, hold on. I get one phone call. I watch TV. I ain't never been to jail, but I know I get one. I said, boom, can I have my one phone call? The lady come out and say, yeah. She came out, put me in a little room with a phone. I called to find out, give me an update on what's really going on. Did they find something? Blah, blah, blah. She gives me an update. She said, I don't know, but they took your Impala, they took your BMW, they took your Ninja motorcycle, they took your guns, they took your jewelry, and they took some old vintage coins you had. She tells me everything they took. I'm trying to figure out, did they find any dope? She never says that, but she said, but your friend is here from Susanville. Remember, I used to service Susanville. I used to service home. They used to come down and get ounces. Because I was the man now. I was the man now.
Look at him.
So my boy El, he was scheduled to come down to get his 2 ounces. He was already scheduled to come down at 1:00, but he didn't know that I was gonna get hit that day. I didn't know, so I couldn't call him and warn him, "Don't come down." He
Right.
showed up. Keisha say, "Your friend is here." I knew why he was there. I say, "Put him on the phone." I said, hey man, what's up? He's oh man, you told me what happened. I said, yeah, man, messed up. I said, hey, but those tools you let me borrow, they're in the kitchen cabinet. Go
Look
see,
at you. Even with your knee down, you
right.
still
Well, fans
building
trying to stop my life.
341. DJ Rubber Band, Caddy B, special guest, Pastor Vince Haynie.
Hey,
Now
Kenny, hey,
we last kind of cut it off where you was in the holding tank. You got the call.
I made the
Your
call.
boy
I
came
made
to
the
pick
call. I
something
made the
up.
call. They gave me my one phone call. By law, you get one phone call. I knew that from watching Matlock, watching all
Right.
those Miami Vice, Miami Vice, all those cop shows, man. I knew I'd get one phone call from watching all those shows. From watching Marty Ma. Okay, but anyway, yeah, I made my one phone call. My wife tell me they gone. They took the drop top. They took the 6-tray Impala that was immaculate. You know, I had those was 2 platinum hits right there. The Impala.
There you go.
They took the 2
There you
platinum.
go.
Hey, they took the 2 platinum plaques off the wall.
Exactly.
The Beamer and the Impala, they took the Ninja motorcycle. They took all your boy wasn't draped out and dripped no more. Used to tease me on that one. Come on, oh, they took all your powers.
Shout
Because
out, big
I was out
man.
there naked. I was out there naked.
Yeah.
He called my
You was
jewelry my
naked.
power.
You was naked. You was
Yeah.
naked.
He
You was
said,
naked.
I said, wow, he started teasing me. Because they had my stuff for like 4 or 5 months. He said,
I
man, yeah,
remember.
they took all your powers, and my car was my powers. He thought they
But
took
look,
all my powers.
I gotta give Big Man his props and his P's. Big Man was hot. Big Man was like, Rubber, I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to help my boy get his car back, man. Man, I'm gonna help my boy. I was like, okay.
Here's the deal though. Even my mama couldn't help me because fast back to what I was saying, I was after that phone call, and I told my boy to go look in the cabinet because the tools was there. He came back. In those days, it was cordless phones. Wasn't no cell phones. I had called home to the cordless phone. He went to the spot. He said, I got it. He just said, I got him. And I said, okay, well, you know what to do. Leave that cash there. I said that in code, leave that cash there, and we'll follow up. So he understood that too. Then I said, put Keisha back on the phone, and she put her on the phone. I had her to call your boy Big Man to go ahead and clean the rest of it, get the rest of that, what do you call it, that junk, get the rest of that junk out of my house. So I had her
Right.
call Big Man on that one. Then I told him I was done with my phone call. I go back to the holding cell, and I ain't nobody in there but me. You ever been in that little holding cell in Chico jail on
Yeah, I know
Humboldt?
what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we all been there. So I go back in there, and I'm in there by myself, and I lay down and I start pondering what had just happened with this phone call. As I'm pondering that, I hear that voice again. Remember that voice that previously told me,
Yeah.
pray? This time that voice said, I answered your prayer. I started looking around. I looked under the little steel bed, and didn't see nothing. I heard it again. I answered your prayer. I'm like, cool. Hey, I'm like, cool. Especially after my boy said he got the stuff. That
Right.
tell me they left the 5-0 one time, Ventive, they left empty-handed. Without, they took my stuff, but they ain't had nothing to prosecute on. They couldn't put me in the headlines on blah blah blah, which I was in the newspaper because in small towns they was in the newspaper that they hit my house. That was in the newspaper. They served a warrant for this, but they failed to say in that article how they came up short. So I heard the voice, I answered your prayer, and I'm like confident. I'm like, well, thank you, Lord. You heard my prayer. So then 30 minutes later, they shackled me on up, put me in the paddy wagon, taking me to Oroville. I'm going to the county jail because they still holding me for the stuff I had a month previous that I sold to them. Yeah, and
Because you
they had a
violated.
recording of
Right.
everything. So they take me, and as I'm traveling out to Oroville, I hear the voice again. And I'm in the paddy wagon by myself. And I hear that voice again saying, I answered your prayer. So by the time I get to the jail, I'm confident, man. I'm back. Hey, I'm back. Because I know I ain't going to be there that long. Because I didn't heard this mysterious voice 3 times talking about I answered your prayer. So I get there, like the song said, back to music, hip hop. In here, we get the news before y'all. That was in one of the verse around about in the jail, they get the news from the streets before we get it. So by the time I got there, they already had the news. Yeah, we heard about you, man, got hit. They said they heard about me. I'm like, man, y'all do, those songs don't be lying. They do get the news. So they welcomed me there. They gave me a hero's welcome because I had street cred. I was a local neighborhood celebrity. So they gave me my props when I got there. The cats that did know me, they blah blah blah,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
open arms, and there was 2 big white boys calling the shots in the pod. When I got there, they saw me arrive. They told this other white guy line me out, show me where my bed at. So he take me upstairs, the pod, big room upstairs and downstairs. He takes me upstairs and say, hey, there's your bed right there. I say, all right, cool. I'm getting ready to settle on in. I took my picture, got my orange. I'm settling on in, and on my bed was a little orange about this size. It was a Bible. It was just laying on my bed. My bed was made nice and neat, like it was military. I'm like, and I saw a little Bible. And I asked the white cat that bed was next to me that showed me where my bed. I said, because I ain't never been there. I don't know what the deal is. I said, man, do they leave everybody a Bible when they come
Right.
in? My man said, no, they don't. I said, well, it's one on my bed. So I opened it up. Leon, Robert, I opened it up. I just read because I know I'm having a strange morning. And I'm like, okay, this is really strange. The guy said they don't leave a Bible. I'm hearing these voices. Like 1
Yeah.
o'clock now, and there's a Bible. I opened it up. As soon as I opened it up, it went to a page that said, whatever things you desire when you pray, believe you receive them and you will have them. And then I heard the voice again. I answered your prayer. That started my spiritual journey right there.
Whoa, that's deep.
7
That's
days,
deep.
7 days, I had to stay in Butte County Jail. If you don't know nothing about numbers, 7 is a winner. 7 is the number
Yeah.
of protection. I didn't know that then. So day 1, I called Keisha when I got in there because my boys that I was dealing with, the top boys, I just surpassed big man. I'm at the top of the chain. Now I'm deep in the game. They told me if you ever get busted, they told me, call this attorney. He's the best in the business in Butte County. And he was from San Francisco, but he opened up a practice here in Chico. Call him. He don't like cops. He's a winner. So I first day I'm in there, I called Keisha. Hey, get him on deck. I had that little money from the Forest Service. Remember when I left? I sued him.
Yeah.
Everybody thought
Yeah,
I
I
had
remember that little. Look, you know the hood. You know that. Yeah, yeah.
I was telling my boy, everybody thought I had 100,000. I really only had 10,000. You know, you're gonna put a 10 on the 2. I told him
But
I
that's
got 100.
but that's hood stories though. That's hood
Hood story.
stories.
So I had 10. I had 10 in the bank, and I had it there just in case I get hit or down payment for a house.
Yeah.
Whichever comes first. So I called Keisha, told her, get some of that 10 racks and go hire retain this cat. She did that. He contacted me the next day, I called her, she gave me his information. I called him day 2, get me up out of here, man. I ain't trying to spend no time up here, get me out of here. He said, Vince, your wife gave me the check, she retained me. I'm working on it. I'm gonna get you out there, you'll be out there by tomorrow. That will be Wednesday. Come Wednesday, I'm calling this cat, man. I thought you got me out of here. By that time, Keisha done put money on my bucks. I got my Zoom, or Wham Wham, some commissary. I'm still trying to get up out of there. I'm calling this cat. He said, Vince, man, I ain't never seen nothing about this, man. You only sold $100 worth of drugs, and the judge will not let you bail out. He said, I ain't never seen nothing like this. I didn't got guys bailed out that had kilos, busted with kilos.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I ain't never seen nothing like this. This is such an unusual case. I called him back the next day, same memo. He stopped answering my collect calls, and he my attorney.
What?
Because I was calling him collect. He my attorney. I'm paid this fool 5 Gs. He stopped answering my calls because he couldn't do nothing. Because here's the deal, Leon, what I know now, it wasn't about him and his ability. It was about my faith in God. So now fast forward, I just settled on in. After day 4, I settled on in. This cat can't get me out. Judge won't let me bail out. I don't know what's going on. But that same night, the big white boys that was running the pod, by this time, I'm telling everybody my story. The story I just told you guys, they hear it. I'm telling them my story. So they named me Lucky. Man, you lucky they didn't find it. So I'm
Well,
lucky.
they gave you my name on the streets, huh?
Yeah,
Luck.
now I'm lucky, Leon. I'm
Yeah,
lucky.
you lucky, huh?
So in there, I was lucky. Because everybody heard my story, so they gave me the name Lucky. So at night when the lights went out, the big white boys that was running the pod, they downstairs, my bed upstairs. Yo, Lucky, come downstairs. I'm like, what these cats want with me? I'm clenching my butt cheeks and the whole nine.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think it's on now, Leon. Hey, it's on now.
It's
Hey,
on.
my worst
Chocolate
fear,
thunder.
my worst fear, it came to pass. And they would call me when lights are out. Lights are out.
Right.
They call it Lucky. What they want with
Because they
me?
running it. Yeah, they running it. Yeah.
And they was issuing out all the chores. They was running the TV. They was running the whole pod. Everybody knew that. I knew it from day
Right.
one who to submit to. So now day 3, they calling me Lucky. So I go down there, lights out. I got to go down and see what they want. I go down there to see what they want. These cats in a huddle, about 5 or 6 of them. They in a huddle with a little flashlight having Bible study. I'm like, what's
Oh,
going on
blessings.
here? Then they start encouraging me.
Blessings.
And Lucky, God gonna get you out of this, Lucky. Watch what God gonna do. He gonna surprise you. Lucky, man, watch what God gonna do. I'm like, okay, I'm cool with that. I already been hearing voices. Then y'all gonna tell me this. Next night, lights out. Yo, Lucky, come down here. Lucky going back down there again. Because I know they ain't trying to get Lucky's booty. They got some Bible, not some booty. The next night, same MO. We studying, they encouraging me. Lucky, man, watch what God gonna do. The white boys, big yoke dudes too. I think they was angels. Now that I look back, Lucky. Third night, lights out. They ain't got to call Lucky. Lucky already down there. They encouraging me again. Lucky, watch what God gonna do, man. He gonna get you out of this. I think I went 3 nights in a row. So I was in there 6 days. On the 7th day, I didn't get to spend time with them because the CO came in there and say, Haynie, roll it up. Know what that means?
Yeah.
Roll it up.
Yeah. It still take a minute though, but you ready to go.
Oh, I'm rolling it up. I'm getting all my personals. I'm giving all my zooms and wham whams to Pop's son, Lane. He was there. I gave all my zooms and wham whams, all my commissary to him. I called Keisha, tell her come get me and bring me a package of Newports. I ain't had a cigarette all week.
Look at you. Look at you. Look at you.
So now,
look at you.
You don't know all this been going on. The voice, she ain't heard none of my story. She ain't heard none of it, but she saw dude get the drugs out of my house. She saw that part. Now remember, she's the church goer. I'm thug life, baby. I'm thug life. You know, Jay-Z and them, Hov and them. I'm rolling with them. I'm thug life. So she picked me up at Oroville Jail on day 7, 6:30 p.m. That's biblically, that's the new day. That's when they came and told me to roll it up so I can go to Bible study with them cats. So she picked me up. I'm chain smoking Newports on the way from Oroville to Chico. I asked Keisha what she been doing for the 7 days since I've been gone. She said, well, you know, we got to move. We're getting evicted. And I've been looking at this apartment on such and such. I said, no, we ain't living in no apartment. We always living in the house since we've been together. She said, I just want somewhere for me and these kids to stay because you're going to prison because you sold drugs to the police. I said, oh, wait, I ain't going to jail. What you mean you ain't going to jail? I'm getting a place for just me and these kids to stay. I'll stay anywhere. I say, I'm not
right. She in survival mode.
Yeah,
she in survival mode.
I'm in faith mode. I'm in faith mode. She don't know what
she in survival mode. Yeah.
She don't know what I've been going through all week. I said, no.
You lucky now. Look,
yeah,
you a Pyru now. You ain't no front street. You ain't no front of the Crip no more. You a Pyru. You lucky.
I found out, like Nikki said, I wasn't lucky. I'm blessed. I'm not lucky. I'm blessed. So I tell her, the church goer, we ain't getting no apartment. We still gonna get a house because I ain't going to prison because God's gonna get me out of this. She looking at me like, Negro, please. I said, oh, you gonna get me out of this? She like, what? I say, well, I'll show you when I get home. So we driving, I'm chain smoking Newports, coming from Oroville. I'm telling her what God gonna do for me. The straight heathen, thug life. I had everything that came with the drug business. Everything. Kicks galore, bouncing. I'm doing everything. But he's right. Like you said, something on you, Vince. It was on me all the time. but he
Yeah.
decided
Oh, for sure. It was.
to reveal it to me when that pressure came on. When my back was against the wall, when mama couldn't help me, because my mama came to court. She couldn't get me out. She thought the judge was gonna see her and let me out. Because I went to court and that place said, no bail. Go on back in there. That was like the first, 48 hours they gonna do that. I remember my mom seeing me in court. I looked like P. Diddy in there on his first 2 days. Hair all jacked up, not groomed. You know, that look ain't groomed in a couple days. That's how I was looking.
That no money look.
Yeah, that broke, that bow down to the very last compound look.
Yeah.
So I had that look, and my mom in court looking at me. I'm shackled up. Judge saying no bail. They send me back in there. And that's what my sister them think. Mama could handle everything. Mama get him out in there. Mama couldn't get me out. And God was making it so mama, wife, judge, attorney, nobody got the glory but him. So get home. I tell Keisha, I'm going to show her why I'm not going to prison. Why God going to get me out of this. Because I'm talking about it all the way home. I said, I'll show you when I get home. So we get home. Our kids was little. I hug them, give them a hug, give them a kiss. Thank them for holding it down for their mama for these 7 days. I've been gone. Then I said, Keisha, you ready to see why I'm not going to prison? She said, yeah. I said, go get me your Bible. She said, what? I said, go get me your Bible. She went and got me her Bible. Now, I don't know what, I know what that scripture I read in Mark chapter 11, verse 24, I went right there and I told her to read it. And it said, whatsoever things you desire when you pray, believe you receive and you will have it. Remember when I opened it up in the jail, that's what I saw. And I heard the voice. Yeah. And I showed it to Keisha. I said, this here scripture. That's why our ministry is called the Word Church. I said, this here scripture is why I'm not going to jail. I didn't put faith in it. And I heard God said, I answered your prayer. Well, when he told me in that jail cell, he answered my prayer. I said, okay, thank you for answering my prayer by not letting them find it. But I need you to answer my prayer that this case get dismissed from the stuff I sold. Yeah, I thank you, because I prayed that they would let them find it, but I didn't pray at that time about the case. But when I read it in the Bible and I heard a voice again, I said, okay, I believe I'm hearing from you. Now I'm gonna go ahead and believe this case is gonna get dismissed. So on the way home, that's what I was telling Keisha based on that second prayer about the case being dismissed. The first one was answered. They didn't find it. That was a done deal. I didn't have to pray about that no more. My boy got his. I came home. I went over Big Man because he came and cleaned the house out. I went to his house, got my product.
Look, why you don't put Big Man out like that. Big man go to church, he work, he got his wife, his kids.
I wasn't gonna leave it in my house. I had Big Man come clean the house out. I think he flipped it. I think he flipped it while I was gone. I think he flipped it, so he just gave me the cash.
We gonna cut that part out, Big Man. Big Man, we cutting that part out for you.
He flipped it, man. So when I come back, I hit the street.
Because the street said when you came back, Big Man took care of you. He just gave you everything you needed. Man, I'm joking. I'm joking.
He gave me everything that he had that belonged to me.
Gonna have to put you three niggas in a boxing ring with some gloves. By the time we get done with this podcast.
He didn't give me no whip. I ain't had no more powers. But hey, the 3 whips they took, they left the El Dorado. Remember that burgundy L Dog with the wheel? They left that in the Benz 190. So I was
that Benz 190 was a soldier. That Benz 190 was a soldier.
I was still in the game. I was still in the game.
Look, Nick Rose was like, look at Vince ass going down the street in that old ass Benz 190.
I had that ass gold. That boy was good. That was ain't could nobody top it. Not on a 190. Like you say, I used to get no play. Now she stayed behind me because I said I had a Benz 190.
Look at you. All right, we're going to give you that.
I had I had my Benz 190, gold grill on it. Yeah, some dubs on it. Some 18s, but they was clean. And some 15s, but they was clean.
It was now tell us, now at this point, is this when you start going to Pastor Coleman's church, or you started? No, what was your faith? Was you going to neighborhood church, or?
I go to no church, man. I get back on the streets, like he used to say. Now I'm back on the streets and my records are clean. I creeped on that chick with my Uzi machine. No.
Yeah, that's what we want. Yeah.
No. I went back on the streets, so I know the streets is watching and they talking too. So the first day I get home, I tell Keisha, I confess my faith to her about God gonna get me out of here. I give him the glory, tell her what had been happening in jail for those days and how the boys telling me it's gonna be
Took
okay.
care of you.
Yeah, yeah. So I hit the streets the next day. I ain't trying to go back to work because I know all eyes on me. The streets are watching and they talking. So I lay low, I lay clean. I don't even leave them my boys' house because I know they watching. I don't go nowhere. But what I did do, because I got a work ethic, remember?
Yeah.
I applied for a job at Blue Shield in the mailroom, and I'm at work. I've got it. I'm at Blue Shield in the mailroom. I'm
And
leaving.
that's and
I'm
that's
leaving
part of
the
your superpower. That's
right.
part of your superpower
I left them
is
food.
somebody's looking out for you, Vince. Somebody through
Well,
this
not only
journey,
that, I was able to leave
and
a
it's
cold.
been
I was able to leave a cold trail. They probably
yeah,
thought I was going back to work. No, I
yeah,
went to work for Blue Shield. I was in the
yeah, you
mailroom at
did.
Blue Shield. Remember Blue Shield on East Avenue?
I remember, yes, that's the one Sarika them used to work at, all them, huh?
I got a job there.
That's how work ethic works though. You gonna work no matter what.
You're gonna work no
Yeah,
matter what. So I knew I wasn't afraid of work. I knew how to work. I knew how to apply for a job. Remember, I got an AA degree from Valley
yeah.
College.
No, that counts. That means something. Yeah,
Yeah,
that means something.
that means I was in charge of the mailroom. No, no. So I'm in the
Exact. No, but
mailroom.
so
I'm in
how
the
did
mail.
what was the transition? So it kind of settled, and then whatever happened or didn't happen.
Oh, no,
So
no,
how
no.
did that case end? How
Hold
did
on.
that case end?
Let me just say this part. I'm in the mailroom. I've been doing my thing for about a month, trying to give him a cold trail, get him off my trail. Let him see this guy going to work every day, man. He upstairs instead. He's going to Blue Shield every day. At 7 a.m., he getting off at 5 p.m. I did that for a whole good old 2.5, 3 weeks. To the streets was hungry, man. They was fiending. They was calling me, saying, man, it's bad out here, man, since you out the game. It's bad, man. We're getting shorted. It ain't the same, man, without you. They called me back into the game, brother.
Oh,
I quit Blue
It's
Shield.
hard to retire.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I quit. I stayed there for about a month. After that, I said, forget this. I said, forget this on multiple levels because I had personal clients by then. So I had to just let them go to the wolves. So they was personal. I wasn't no streets. I had doctors, lawyers on the team. They had to go to the streets because I had customized service. I come to your door. I come to your house. I deliver. I was better than you. I'm better than the postman. That's how good my service. Because remember, I had a work ethic.
you
I
got
had
a work ethic.
I had quality service too. I was so good at what I did. My clients, I call them clients. They gave me gifts on my birthday. I would come over to the house, someone was good cooks. They have a plate for me, a cake on my birthday. They would be buying me stuff. That's how good. So now when I had to stop, I left. They had to go to the woods, and I started hearing that because I said I kept an ear to the streets, and I was getting the reports back. That's what made me go back in minimum wage. Minimum wage, man. I was making 500 a day,
It's hard.
independently owned and
Yeah.
operated. So I had to
Right.
go. What was minimum wage at that time? $4 an hour.
Yeah. 335,
Mhm.
$4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah,
I
it
couldn't
is.
do nothing for that, man. I couldn't do nothing with that. It probably was $7, if that, but that wasn't working for me. So those two things compelled me to go back to what I knew. But at the same time, I wasn't being dumb. I say, this was the 90s now. Remember pagers? I ain't gonna do the 500. I'll scale it back to 300. 300 a day. That's gonna be me. I'll keep them off my trail. So I migrated into that. When I got off Blue Shield, 3:30, 4 o'clock, I turned my pager on. Boom. I turn it on. So I'm working the evening shift. I'm working 4 to 8. I'm half a day, 4 to 8 until I completely left Blue
And your
Shield.
clientele changed? Was your clientele
No, I'm still the same.
mixed?
It just
No,
still.
was it
I only
mostly
did no.
blacks, whites,
Oh yeah,
everybody?
I had a multiracial congregation.
Okay.
Clientele,
Okay.
multiracial clientele, that's all the way it was. But see, that
Okay.
happened with me years of weeding out the bad elements, the people I didn't want, because I had put myself I only wanted quality people. I didn't want cats like such and such and them that was hotter than a firecracker. You bring too much attention. The only way they got me is this cat, Magalia, which I didn't wanna let be on my team, but somebody convinced me because he was spending like 100 a day. Somebody convinced me to go ahead and take him on, he cool, but then he got in trouble. The mama called the police on him. He told him he knew a cat in Chico named Vince. They say, "Oh, you do? We've been trying to get that fool for 5 years. He's been untouchable. You got to connect with him." They didn't even believe him. That's why on that first day at Ross, they didn't believe he was connected with me. That's why they could. If they would have just got me that day, I'd have had a pocket full of stones. They
Damn.
had a wire on him because they didn't
UGK.
believe him. Huh? Who's
No,
that?
you said pocket full of stones, UGK.
Yeah, I had a
Pocket
pocket full
full
of
of
stones. Come on, man.
stones.
This is a music show too, man.
Exactly.
I used to roll with a pocket full of stones. I got a pocket
I,
full of stones. By the way, that's your boy Big Man. He loved that jam too. A pocket full of stones.
yeah.
So
Pocket full
I
of
just thought
stones.
if they wanted to get me, that's why I say the hand of God must have been on me. Because right after I made that sale, he was outside of Ross in his car. Task Force was inside of Ross. I went up to his car, and my MO, my conversation, when I'm doing a transaction, conversation is minimal. Let's just do this. We ain't got to say nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do this. So, but I think we exchanged a couple words, but it wasn't about, the product or the money. It was like, here you go or whatever. Because he was my attorney and letting me listen to the recording. It was all
Damn.
fuzzy. And he told me, he said, don't even trip about that. They use cheap tape anyway. He said
Damn.
they budget they don't use professional recording tape. So, and when I heard it, I said, no, that ain't me because it was fuzzy. But anyway, they could have
Damn.
just, as soon as I served him, what they should have did is swoop right there. Pocket full of stones.
But they didn't do it?
They didn't do it because they didn't believe he knew me. They didn't
Oh.
believe him. When he said he knew me, it all came out in discovery. They didn't believe him. They wanted to see it and see it go down. And once they seen it go down, it was me. And they had pictures, Streets was watching. And then they was like, okay, we're gonna build a case. We're gonna hit them up next week for a larger amount. But they spent 100 that time. And they had marked bills. By the time they came to my house a month later, them marked bills was gone. They in Mexico. Marked bills in Mexico somewhere. They was looking for them. So they found my money. They found a stash of money in my house, so they wouldn't do it. None of it theirs. It was
Only
been
was none of it there.
no,
Damn.
that was a month later. That money
Somebody
been
was
gone.
looking out for you.
Hey,
Somebody was looking out for you, V Love.
he should have been spent that money at Walmart.
No, that was God looking out for you, boy.
The cash was gone. So what was that? Oh, my attorney, what was that? Okay, what was I at?
So you said
I go back, I leave Blue Shield now, and I go back to full time, but I scale back. I go back to school, but I'm scaling back. I don't need my 500. I can live off 3 a day. I'm scaling back because I don't want them to watch me.
now is your wife telling you not to do this, or you just
You can't tell me anyway. This is my life. I'm doing what I'm doing. I make my own rules. Now, during this season, we were still getting kicked out of Elm Street. So God was still watching over us because it was around Christmas time. Dude wanted us to leave. He wanted to offer us $1,000 to move because we were supposed to buy the house. It didn't work out. Our deal fell through. He had a backup offer. And the people that had the backup, they were ready to roll. I said, man, I'm not going to move my family out of this house the week of Christmas.
right?
And put everything in the storage and to find the place. And God set it up that we moved right out of Elm Street into Larch. Remember we moved on Larch?
Yep.
Brady Bunch house with the swimming pool.
Uh-huh.
That was my first house. And because I asked my attorney, I say, man, before all this happened, man, we was about to buy a house. He said, Vince, just keep on doing whatever you was doing. Live your life. I said, okay. He did encourage me in that area. I guess that was worth the 5 G's because that's all he did. He said, go ahead, do what you're going to do, man. He said, worst come to worst, in this case, we're going to make it look like they were selling to you. I said, my man. I said, actually.
That's a good lawyer. Damn. That's a good lawyer. That's a good lawyer.
We're going to make it look like you was. I said, yeah, that's what. And I agree with him. I said, yeah, that's what was happening.
Shout out to the lawyer. Shout him out. Shout him out.
Dan Cameron. That's my man. He's just, me and him still.
I know who it was. I didn't want to put his business out like that.
But he good. He good. So anyways, so we and he told me write the offer. Go ahead. And I still had money. God hooked that up that the money come. This was before we learned Carlton Sheets, how to buy money, how to buy real estate. Boom, boom, boom. We did that. And I saw how God opened that door up. As I was fighting a drug case, he got us in that house.
Yeah, Vince.
He did 20 grand down to move in. The 20 grand came with ease. We move up in there. I'm still fighting the case. I'm back in the game. I'm doing a soft sale back in the game because we just moved out of no house. I know they watching me, but at the same time, I ain't doing no curb serving. You know, when I go to somebody's house, it was somebody with a nice house. Remember, you bought the house. You were living in the house one of my clients was living in, and your boy tried to clown you for living there. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh man, brother done moved into a crackhead. Oh, remember that?
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
girl, her name is. I'll put her out there right now. Boy, that girl, man, she was big. She could smoke just as, yes, she could smoke just as big as she was. But she was a good client. She was a bugaboo. But yeah. So anyway, you end up
How
moving in.
you gonna diss? How you gonna diss internationally?
Man, I don't know what happened. She don't live in Chico no more. So if you
Shout
see
out,
this like that, shout
shout
out
out.
to man. But y'all
She a
ended up buying
Christian
that house
now.
or you was just renting it?
I was renting it.
Oh, I thought you had bought it, but your boy was clowning you for living there.
Yeah. That's your boy. Look,
That's
that's
so
your
good.
boy.
He gonna clown. He gonna get his clown on. Huh? But anyway, but I would go into the house. It was never outside. I go in the house.
Right.
She she was big. She liked to cook. She always had some food. You couldn't even tell she was a smoker because she liked to eat. Cakes and pies. So she always had something for me. So anyway, I scaled back and then we moved into our house. And as we was getting acclimated to our new house, our new neighborhood, we wasn't in Chapman no more. We was over there. We was moderate income was now.
No, y'all left the hood. No,
We left
everybody,
the hood
you left the hood. You left the
while
hood.
while fighting the drug case. Yeah,
Yeah.
while fighting the drug case, I buy a house, still going, but I'm still telling everybody else, oh, little CJ, none of them. Oh man, you gonna get at least 2 years. I ain't getting no years. Man, what you mean? You sold drugs to the task force, the police. I ain't getting no time, man. What do you mean? I say, God gonna get me out of this. They say, what? Nigga, you crazy. Everybody. I remember going to John, all the D boys. My testimony was the same. God gonna
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
saying, I said it for 6 months. God's gonna get me out of this. I kept on speaking what I was believing. Because he told me. Whatever
Yeah.
you desire when you
And they
pray.
thought you was crazy. They thought you was
Oh,
crazy for saying that.
word on the streets in Chico during that season, Vince went to jail for 7 days and he came out crazy, talking about what God gonna do. Well, I stayed crazy for 8 months, 8 to 9 months from the time it happened to trial readiness to the day of the trial. I stayed saying, giving God the glory. Still selling dope, but giving God the glory that he was gonna get me out of it. I didn't stop working, but I was giving God the glory because God don't go back on his word. I just knew it because I knew it wasn't me. I knew it wasn't my voice I was hearing, that I answered your prayer. So now, when we moved in that house on Larch, January 2nd, 1999, I started studying the Bible. I started reading the Bible. I didn't go to church because remember, I still had some guilt because I'm selling dope. I ain't finna go up in your church, brother. Hey, brother,
Exactly.
I still
Yes.
had
You
that
was
type of
afraid you was gonna
guilt.
catch on fire.
Yeah, right. I
Yeah.
still had that guilt, but
And then he still kind of, he still got that bravado, Caddy. He still, he still is. He still
but
got
no,
that
gotta
bravado.
remember, I ain't have no powers. They took all my jewelry. I didn't get that back to 9 months after all of this.
Yeah, it took
I'm
you a
at
while to get.
large. I'm at large. I ain't got nothing. I ain't got the lowrider. I ain't got the Impala. I ain't got the motorcycle. I ain't got no jewelry. I ain't got nothing because I'm still fighting the case. When I
But
say
you,
fighting the
but you
case,
wasn't in the hood no more,
no, I
and you
wasn't
was
in the
on the
hood, dog.
streets.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I wasn't in
you
the
had
hood.
you had that 190 though.
Yeah, I still had the 190, and I had a swimming pool in my backyard.
See, there you
I had a
go, there
swimming
you
pool in
go,
my backyard.
there you
So
go.
now
Yeah,
I'm still being encouraged. Without all those things, I'm still being encouraged, and I'm still believing what I'm believing, and I'm still going to court. They called it trial readiness, getting ready for trial. Every time I go, they come back. Well, we're still preparing to take case. We're not dismissing it. We got enough evidence to prosecute. That went on for 6 months. The whole ordeal went on for 9 months. Now, here's the thing, biblically, 9 months, that's how long it takes to birth something new. I stuck with my confession, what I was saying about God, for 9 whole months. From the time I got
look
out,
at you, look at
yeah,
you, look at you, look.
here's it.
Caddy, you see him,
When it was
Caddy.
all over,
Mm-hmm.
when it was all over, the judge had enough evidence. I'm back and forth to Oroville, the court. They said, okay, they set a trial date because I'm not guilty. They set a trial date. That date was approaching. The day before the date that we were supposed to go to Oroville Superior Court to start the trial, this is 8.5 months. To start the trial, the process, My attorney, Dane Cameron, called me. He said, Vince, because I'm preaching to him now about what God gonna do, what I'm believing. He called me. He said, Vince, I know what you're gonna say, but I got to communicate this to you as your attorney. I have to. I know what you're gonna say, but I got to communicate because every time I was going to his office, I was telling him too, I ain't going to prison. God gonna get me out of it. Just like I'm not. I'm not ashamed to say that. I was telling my attorney this because I know it wasn't his voice I was hearing. I was hearing a voice from heaven. So I would go and encourage him, and I met with him a lot to listen to the tapes and all that, and the whole, just to check in with him. So he calls me the day before the trial was supposed to start. He said, Vince, I know what you're going to say, but I got to tell you this anyway. I said, what's that, Dane? He said, the DA just called me, and he told me we would go light on you if you let them keep all the stuff they confiscated. Now,
What?
rehearse with me. What did they confiscate? The 6-tray Impala, the drop Beamer, the Ninja motorcycle, all my guns, all my jewelry, and about $3,000 worth of vintage coins that I got from one of my clients, dollar for dollar. Each coin, dollar for dollar from him, but each coin was worth $5. I had 2 gunny sacks. Over about a year worth of time, he was bringing them to white boy from paradise. But anyway, vintage coins. I ain't selling them 1 coin for $5 at the coin shop on 15th
Right.
and Park Avenue. Because I should have kept them, but they was real silver, 1800,
Right.
1800. So that's all the stuff they took. So he tells me the DA, we go to court tomorrow, but the DA said he'll go light on you if you let him keep all the stuff they confiscated. My response to my attorney was, tell the DA I'll see him in court tomorrow. He said, okay, see you there tomorrow, Vince. That was my response because I'm still believing what God said. My prayer was answered. I go there the next day. Keisha go with me to Oroville. We load up the car. We got to be there at 8 o'clock for court. Jury trial is getting ready to start. We go in there. My attorney meets us there. There's some other people before us. I'm like the 4th or 5th one they called. They called such and such. My man pleaded guilty. Judge told him come back for sentencing. Somebody else, same thing. Then by the time they got to me, state of California versus Vincent Haynie. I came up there, I stood up, me and my attorney and the prosecutor to the right of us. The judge read out all those charges, manufacturing, in Brew County, black people, they add on manufacturing, trafficking, sales. I'm saying to myself, I did all that, but the judge is reading off all the charges, the complaint that the DA then submitted against me. It was Vince Haynie. It was State of California versus Vince Haynie, aka David against Goliath.
Right.
They were Goliath. I was David. But I knew I had heard from God. And I know, back to those scriptures I told you, I know the plan I have for you to give you a hope in the future. God's plan for me was not to go to prison. My worst nightmare. That wasn't his plan. Fast forward, his plan for me was what I'm doing today. That was his plan. And it was planned for me to give him the glory and him to show me his miraculous power to go and do what he called me to do. Because I couldn't be up here every Sunday as a doubter. I couldn't be here as a doubter. I got to be convinced that he's all powerful. I had to be.
You can't be half in because some of it you was half in, half out.
No. But I was 100% convinced that he was all powerful. That part. That's all God wants you to believe, that I am who I said I am. We'll work on all the other stuff later. We'll get to that. You just need to recognize first and foremost, I'm who I said I am. And I do what I said I'm gonna do. I told you I answered your prayer. That's all I need you to believe. All the other stuff, you being halfway in, halfway out, you ain't in there on what you believe about me. All the other stuff, we'll work on that. We'll work on that. We'll work on you being.
So what happened in court? Give us